Your proposal could be why you're losing deals. It's not your price. It's not your work. It's not your experience. It's your proposal. You probably spent 6 hours building the thing and you cram every deliverable you can think of. You send it over and your prospect flips straight to the last page, looks at the number, and ghosts you. I've watched this happen literally hundreds of times. And here's the part that really sucks. It's almost never the pricing. It's the work you've put in and the order in which you tell the story. This is the perfect proposal. It's 6 sections. It's one continuous narrative, and it's built to close business. It's actually the structure that I've used for more than 15 years to help agencies win deals they actually want. Who am I? I'll do this quick because honestly, you don't care. My name's Tim and I've been in digital marketing since 1997. I've started and scaled 3 agencies. I sold 2 and I crashed one so hard we had to call in FEMA. I've done thousands of pitches as an agency owner. I've been pitched as a client-side CMO, and I've run agency searches and RFPs as a consultant. All right. So right up front, this isn't a template. Templates make you look like everybody else, and you and your agency are too good for that. Prospects can smell a template and lack of deep thinking from across the street. This is a framework that's very different. It gives you the bones of the proposal, but you flesh out the meaty parts with your insight, your experience, your talent, and how well you understand this particular prospect. Let me save you some time. If you want a fill in the blank proposal template, just shut off the video now. This is not for you. If you want to win more deals, hang around for a couple more minutes. Okay. Before we jump deep into the framework, I want to give you 3 rules about proposals. If you break one of these, probably shot yourself in the foot. Rule 1, never agree to create a proposal until you know your prospect's goals, until you know how big a problem they think they have, and how they make decisions. If you don't understand those, like, you're not offering a proposal. You're just sending over a wish list of things you want to get paid for. Number 2, never just send the proposal. Winning proposals get presented. They don't get emailed into a void. You've got to get a scheduled meeting first and walk through the proposal live. Rule number 3, nothing in your proposal ought to be a surprise. Every line, every sentence, everything should be confirming something that you have already discussed. If your proposal has surprises in it, you didn't do enough discovery with your client. And when a proposal has surprises in it, you just introduced a lot of complexity. No surprises. Let's get into the framework. It's got 6 sections. Insight, what's in it for them, proof and process, your USP, next steps, and pricing and value. The sequence matters here. It's really the whole thing. You build authority first, deliver price last. And here's something that almost every agency gets backwards. The proposal is not about you. I know it feels like it's about you. You're the one doing the work, creating the strategy. You made the deck. It's your team. But the proposal isn't about you. It starts with the client and their problems, and it ends with the client and their solutions. And the entire way, the client is the center. The second that it becomes about you, you might as well just close your freaking laptop. It's over. Let's dive in. Section 1, insight. You start your discussion by proving to everybody else in the room that you really understand the problem. And if you're really good, you can actually show that you understand the problem and its impacts better than the prospect does. When you can describe someone else's problem with true precision, they automatically assume that you can solve it. That's where the concept of authority starts to emerge. It isn't from your fancy wall of logos or your Shorty Award. It's from your ability to understand. Be specific about their problem. Be generous in your judgment, and don't turn it into a laundry list of things that they or their last agency has screwed up. That doesn't build trust. That builds defensiveness. And a defensive client never, ever signs. Then here's a real magical opportunity that so many people forget. Show the cost of doing nothing. Let's imagine that you've noticed that the client's cost per acquisition climbed 25% over the last 6 months. Don't just present that as a fact. Show them what happens if that continues. What does it do to their margins? What does it do to their budgets? What does it do to their customer acquisition velocity? But don't lecture them like you were bidding all wrong, blah, blah, blah. That's not helpful. You are the potential partner that sees it and cares about it. What you don't do in this part, you don't talk about yourself. You don't talk about your founding story. You don't talk about your proprietary process or your case studies. You don't even talk about how to fix their problem. Right now, you're only proving that you get it and that you can see the impact. Because if they don't believe that you really understand their problem, they're never going to give you a chance in hell to fix it. Section 2, what's in it for them? You just spent all of section 1 describing their problem and its impact. Talked all about their pain. So now it's your job to lift the mood and paint a better future. You got to show them what life looks like on the other side of working with you. That same cost per acquisition, if you cut it in half, what does that free up across the whole business? What benefit does it give to other marketing channels? You got to make it concrete and measurable. More efficient or better ROAS or increased conversions, that's all bullshit. 40% more leads at the same cost. That's something people can get excited about. That's the future that they can take. We're not talking tactics or timeline yet. We're selling the transformation between where they are right now and where they can get to with your help. You are the agent of transformation. That's what you're selling. You're not selling what you do. That's the tools. You're selling what they out of it. Section 3, proof and process. This is the most treacherous part in the whole proposal process. Let me tell you why. Often people want to list out all of the stuff that they're going to do. We're going to change your ad copy. We're going to adjust your bidding strategy. We're going to make new landing pages and give a giant list of deliverable after deliverable. And the minute you do that, you are putting yourself into a position where you can be compared apples to apples to a competitor. don't hand them a pile of tasks and deliverables you're going to bring. Tie everything you do to a result. We're going to rewrite all your ad copy because it's going to do this. We're going to adjust your bidding strategy because it's going to do that. This is case study time. If you've got a case study that's a perfect corollary, use that right now. Here's a pro tip though. If you don't have an exact corollary, but you've solved a very similar problem, maybe in a different vertical, use that story and draw the connections for them. And if you can find a third-party hard stat that can show your approach yields results, that is an enormous kicker. And you can also use testimonials here, but they've got to tell a good story. Tim's team is great and very responsive. Nobody cares. We had this problem. Tim's team went through their process and we got these results. That does everything. That's meaningful. Now, here's something to remember and play this on repeat whenever you are building a proposal. Nobody buys the activities, they buy the outcome. Okay. Section 4, your USP. This is where you get to talk about yourself. You get to show off. You can talk about your awards here. You can talk about your technology. You can talk about the way that you work with your team. You can talk about the things that you value. But just like the activities, you've got to turn each one of the things that you mention here into a measurable result. We treat our team this way. That allows them to act that way. And they create these results with that freedom. I really want you to pay attention to the timing here. If you had run this section earlier, there's no context and it just comes across as bragging. But when we run it here, all of the things that you mentioned support your proof and your process. You had to wait until they already understood and believed that you could solve the problem before you started talking about the unique parts of your agency. This isn't really a sale. This is a supporting element that increases the level of confidence that the prospect has that you can actually solve their problem. If you've done a good job to this point, they already know that they probably want to work with you. And your unique elements, your USP, can be the thing that pushes them over the edge. Section 5, next steps. So many people skip this. Don't. After your USP, walk them through exactly what happens between today and go live. Talk about the contract, onboarding, timing, who does what, how often you meet, what the reports look like. When you get assumptive about the process, one of these two great things is going to happen. Either they lean in and want to know more and get very tactical. That's when you know they're going to say yes. Or they're going to bring up a concern that is in the way. And you can kill it right there, then they're going to want to move forward. But if they don't engage here, and this goes over like a lead balloon, you're not getting this deal. Either way, it's how they talk about and respond to that structure of next steps that really tells you if you're going to win or not. Section 6, this is the part that everybody gets really nervous about. Pricing and value. This, as we talked about, this is why we never send the proposal ahead of time, because everybody just flips to the last slide and then they think that you're too cheap or too expensive or something. That's why we want to present it live. The pricing has the best impact when they already understand the value of solving their problem and believe that you can solve it. You want to open with a quick recap of everything you talked about, and then you're going to price it by phase or by milestone or something. Don't ever price by hours though, because that just makes you a commodity, and commodities are always sold for the lowest possible amount. Here's a pro tip. Don't give them just one number. You can actually give them multiple pricing options. You can give them a good, better, best, or you can give them a flat fee for them or a full performance. That's on you. And then maybe a hybrid in the middle. When they start engaging with you on the pricing and talking about it, you know that you're close to the finish line. By the way, I just want to point out, don't price by hours. Just don't do it. It's not helpful, ever. Let's step back and look at the shape of this proposal. It starts with the client problem. Then you and your process. That whole first half of the proposal is you selling a better version of the prospect's future. Once that hits, then you're no longer selling. You're actually turning your proposal into a working session where collaboratively you are going through next steps and pricing. The order matters because they want to be invested and they want to know that you're on the same page. They want to create solutions with you. You're not fighting against how they think. You're leveraging it so that everything is easier. All right. That's it. That's the perfect proposal. It's got 6 sections. It's one continuous narrative. And it really is built to close more deals. Now, if that was useful, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I do this almost every week. And if you want to get more like this, you can subscribe to my newsletter at agencyinnercircle.com. Now go close something, will you?